Chapter 6. Looks or personality? As guys, we love to make fun of women in how they always hold some clothing up and ask, "Do you think I'd look fat in this?" Answer: A. Oh yeah, you'd be a bloated whale. B. No, of course not. You're just saying that to make me feel better. Of course not, honey. Liar! You think I'm fat! C. Proceed to bang your head against the wall. Women spend all day putting on their faces, as if they were born without one. They waste countless hours shopping for the perfect dress, reading countless magazines for fashion tips, etc. We make fun of them, mock them for it. But women are obsessed about beauty because of us. It is our fault. After all, if a woman could cure all of the diseases, compose symphonies, and write literature, we would only remember her for how she looked. We, on the other hand, are obsessed with our jobs, our status, and our brains. For us, looks usually translates into working out leading to building our muscles, which gives an appearance of more protection power to the chicks. Women look much more for the complete package with men. Women would take a less attractive man that can make her feel good, make her laugh, make her feel romantic, and all those other goodly good feelings women are addicted to, then a handsome bloke who doesn't know what he's doing and doesn't know how to make her feel good. Men are also more discriminating. Girls that don't look good have a very, very hard time since looks is what men always screen on. Being a not-so-good-looking guy is not a vice. Being a guy with a bad personality is. Less attractive guys with great personalities will always have huge advantages over attractive guys with bad personalities. Women may be attracted to you by your looks and give you more auditions, but it is the personality that keeps them. Nice guys' personalities is that of supplicating, never disagreeing, always going, "Whatever you want, dear." Jerks' personalities is that of not caring, always self-centered, and always going. Relationship? That just means sex on a semi-annual basis, right? Nice guys are great for relationships, jerks are great for attracting, but both lose in the long run. Guys want good looks, but women want charming, funny, successful, and intelligent guys that will sweep them off their feet. Fountain of Youth. Rejoice. And be glad. All those frustrations, all those hesitations, the nervousness, the burning, the butterflies of unease, the confusions, and the errors that manifest itself when your mind says, "Do this," and your body and personality do not follow, all of these can be washed away, forever. Yes, you thought yourself ignorant about women, so inexperienced, so confused, and you just seemed to be following an evil circle. Maybe you were like me, a super mega dork who slept through life until now. And perhaps like I did, you read and reread all material on women in life you could get your hands on. But what if I told you that you were always a Don Juan at one point in time? And I do not mean in a specific situation or hour. I mean at one point in your life, you knew everything about women and handled them with perfect ease. So perfect that it was 100% natural. And if anyone told you to view a website or books for information, you would laugh yourself silly. Wouldn't that change everything? Wouldn't you say to yourself, "Well, if I was the perfect Don Juan, then I would try to remember how I thought and what I did when I was that Don Juan rather read endless posts and books. After all, if I was a Don Juan, then I require only recollection, not revelation." Go find a picture of yourself when you were a young kid, say at age 6. Look at him. He is smiling gleefully without a care in the world. He doesn't know he is going to turn into the sad adult that you are now. Hormonally, the only difference between you and your youthful shadow is that you are flooded in testosterone and in a state of chemical madness. Your youthful shadow knows better of the joys of life. It is no wonder parents find their offspring such a wonder as they reframe the dull life of bills, appointments, and responsibilities with the fire of youth. Yes, you say that you are an adult now. You have responsibilities such as bills and chores and work to do. You have no time for such nonsense. Or do you? I bet when you were a kid, you were a natural Don Juan. I bet you got all the girls in the sandbox. As a child, you knew how to treat women better then, even though you are now an adult. Some of these factors include that you knew girls and guys were different. Trendy intellectuals have this problem today. You knew there was male and female. Realized girls had cooties and could destroy a guy. This isn't too far off, as girls can totally devour and destroy a man in his life. Knew that it was improper to be girlish. You would, and ought to, get beaten up on the playground. Older people get an error in the brain called philosophy that speaks bubble-swelled words like relativity, revolution, freedom, and pop with the scent of rotten eggs of pious moralizations, bumper sticker arguments, and rambling dissertations. You knew, at an early age, that you cannot free yourself from gender. Girls were not to be taken seriously. After all, they are girls. It is the nice guy that takes the woman seriously in every and all things and cannot say no to her. Girls were to be guided, teased, because after all, they were girls, and as such, tended to mess things up. You pulled their hair, made fun of their clothes. Not because an internet guy named D'Angelo told you to do so, but because you knew instinctively that it was right and proper for you to do. As a boy, you would never leave the plans up to the woman. Oh, that would be awful. As a kid, you had to say what you two were going to do, when, where, and sometimes why. You had to be direct. Why do I need a plan, Pook? Why can't we do what she wants to do? Because she has no idea what she wants to do. Example, when do you want to come over? I don't know. On Tuesday or Thursday? I just don't know. How about Wednesday? Is that okay for you? Maybe. What about Tuesday or Friday? I don't know. I am coming to pick you up at 7:45 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay. You did not get into serious talks with a girl. You did not turn her into Oprah. You did not try to impress her with how intellectual you are. You probably hit her and cried tag, ran off, and she would chase after you. You would get on the swings. You would push her off the slides. On the seesaw, you would try to fall as fast as possible to catapult her away. Everything you did with a girl was action dates. Nice guys try to cook the lady dinner. You wouldn't even dare do such a thing when you were young. Now, I know why some of my best dates are ones as simple as taking the girl to the park and run around like little kids. Action! 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 As a kid, you loved to sing. You loved to laugh. What do you do now? You are so uptight that you wouldn't catch yourself dead singing outside your home. And what happened to that happy laughter that marked your childhood? Why are you taking everything so seriously now? You had toys and loved to play with them. When the girls entered your sphere, you insisted on playing with your toys. You would ride your bike at death-defying speeds. You played with cranes and Tonka dump trucks. You loved fire trucks. When you grow up, your Hot Wheels cars turn into super-fast sport cars, which you still drive at death-defying speeds. Your cranes and dump trucks turn into the big ones, and you still love the fire trucks. Compare this to the nice guy who does not understand the beauty of construction or gets scared at the idea of fire trucks. There is a reason why women love firemen. You embraced your imagination. If you played with a girl, it was to be on your terms. You will not find a boy that says to a girl, "Whatever you want to do." I remember flicking caterpillars on girls, and they loved it. You would point to the girl and go, "You are the detective and I am the cop." And then you pointed to others and go, "Look at these villains. Come, we must round them up." And the girls joyfully played the part. What do you do now? Let's go get dinner. Boring. You had one eternal enemy in childhood, boredom. Like a void, it encroached on you in school, ensnared you with a stupid trip with the parents, and enveloped you as you stepped on the school bus. You embraced every chance for play. If there is one thing a man must never do to a woman, it is this: do not bore her. Make her happy, make her angry, make her laugh, anything but bore her. That enemy, boredom, is back, and women are looking for you to strike it down. Embrace your youth and live again for the first time. Even at your young age, you were aware of fashion. Your mother was perplexed at why you couldn't wear that shirt or put on those shoes. You knew the importance that clothes and appearance had. Nice guys and chumps try to say nothing for appearance and say, "She will like me for who I am." And, with the same breath, ignore the chicks who do nothing appearance-wise, big whale chicks, pimply chicks, and such, while getting shot down at the real women. When you were young, your father was a demigod. You both feared and loved him. He could be playful when he wanted to. But always, he was a source of strength, always confident, and always seemed to know the solution to any problem you came across. This feeling of awe you thought of your father is the perfect definition of a man. When you strive to be that same towering figure, which seemed to have solutions to all problems, confidence for all troubles, know-how for all messes, stability for all storms, women will react to you in the same way. It is said, "Women want to marry their fathers." But this phrase has been taken completely out of context. Women want to marry that guy, that man they knew when they were a little girl. You can only understand and become that man through the eyes of the young boy. Now, some women will protest this advocacy of looking at women as little girls. This works especially well with the younger chicks, which is what most guys here want. This also solves a legal mystery. Why were women from 1800s treated by law as children? We know the answer now. And I would say to women to treat men the same way. Women are most charming when they view us as boys. "He whom the gods love grows young," said the ancient Greeks. Look at that picture of the young you. Now look in the mirror. The blazing light in the youth's eyes, the curiosity, and the wonders he saw at nature and life. The joy he loved at any occasion. Are they still part of you? Look into the mirror. Is the same light in your eyes? If not, then you know what you need to do. You have come to the solution of your Don Juan troubles. Legends spoke of a fountain of youth that turns the old young. Conquistadors prowled continents hunting for this magical facet of nature. This legend of the fountain of youth was like a psychological splinter in the minds of so many men, driving them across the world through dangers and storms to obtain such a treasure. But it was not in the world, it was in us. Who knew women are the key that seems to unlock all of nature's mysteries? Doesn't this clear the stormy air of confusion? Especially with younger, immature women. When you are with a woman and 1,000 Don Juan philosophies and tactics come to thwart your peace, remember the kid that you were, and how he looked on life. Yes, she might be a 20-something vixen, but underneath those milk sacs and fat deposits that drive your chemicals mad is a little girl. Rather than being nervous about some date, view the date as if you were 7 years old. Everything becomes simple and fun, as it should be. One thing is for certain, women go nuts over a guy who keeps his boyhood charm as women want an escape. They do not want to hear your views on the world. They want to have the happiness and fun of their childhood back, as everyone does. They will fight for the rare men who truly live like this. This also explains the mystery why uneducated men often seem to do better with women than many men with PhDs who are so smart they intellectualize life out of existence. As we know, cell division error, aided by free radicals, accumulates errors throughout the body as time passes. A person of 80 obviously has more errors than that of 40. His tissues start to fail, making his organs fail, then entire organ systems collapse until life is snuffed out. In the same way, our minds start out pristine and pure, that of the child, and everything is playful, fun, and simple. But as time passes, philosophies and bitter memories accumulate. The diseased person looks at life only through the philosophical lens, living a life of past memories, and so his life decays and decays until there is no life within him. Pook hands you the chalice. Drink and pass the cup around. This water from the fountain of youth will wash away these errors, all those frames your bitter memories eat at your mind. Drink to the girls that rejected you viciously. Drink to the macho guys that beat you up in school. Drink to the chains of routines, errands, and appointments. Drink to your ambition. Drink to your melancholy. Drink to your loneliness. Drink to your heart's content and pass the cup around. Your mind has now absorbed the blessed waters of the fountain of youth. You are now the light of the world. Your life is now young, fruitful, fun, easy, simple, and your body will reflect it as well. The world is now your sandbox. Rejoice. Many people get swallowed up in their vanity, all believing themselves as brilliant and smart. They follow their philosophies unquestioningly, and their lives walk on the quicksand of melancholy. But they see the new you, and it smashes all their philosophies to bits. They ask each other, how can he be so happy? How can he be so alive? Let us study him and we will write articles and manifestos on him. But you know the truth. Their ambitions have consumed them while you look on life with youthful eyes and live in a child's paradise. Quote, originally posted by Short Timer.
Indeed, maybe the childhood Pook speaks of is true of him, but it seems more like some idealistic version of the past that never really existed. I too recall my childhood with torment. If I could, I wouldn't live it again. Maybe this metaphor will work for some people, though.
You guys are thinking too much about this. There is no time in sexuality. In the realm of sexuality uncorrupted with intellect and politics and all, which is womaniverse, time simply doesn't exist. This is not looking at your childhood as if it were some golden age. To the contrary, your entire life is the golden age. The problem isn't because you aged, because in sexuality, time doesn't exist. The problem with many is they've become so super intellectual or so educated that it corrupts their sexuality. Your body doesn't get corrupted by time. It gets corrupted by cell division error and free radicals. In the same manner, your mind-soul doesn't age. It gets corrupted with intellect, philosophies, and education. I always wondered why girls could be attracted to hard bodies, happy smiles, but never the genius. Now we know why. Years ago, I was at my most natural state, when I would rant about philosophy, politics, economics, and so on. As you can imagine, this bored the women. Women want smart guys, but not melancholy-filled philosophic guys. My actions were so intellectualized that women saw through everything or used me in some way. This is an anti-intellectual post, very tame of what will follow. Many people sense that time is going faster and faster and faster for them, as if life is speeding up. Things become more frantic, responsibilities become more stacked, and the geometry of rules and regulations grow narrower and narrower around your life until nothing remains. The reason why time is speeding up is because your life's relationship to sexuality is going down. This isn't about bringing your childhood into the present. It is to cleanse your mind and soul of all this philosophic dust and bitter memory garbage that has accumulated. We cannot reverse time with our bodies, thanks to the cell division error. But we can drink from this fountain of youth for our own minds. With one sip, the complexity of women just vanish. With 2 sips, you no longer want to talk and intellectualize with girls, you just want to run around and have fun. With 3 sips, you look at all these manifestos of women and how to get women with disbelief. This fountain of youth is not immaturity. It is not mediocrity. I find it amazing how people go through so much trouble to make sure their body isn't contaminated by disease, germs, and the like. Yet, there is no such consideration for their mind and soul with politics, philosophies, and perversions of all sort to infect and tear down your sexuality, and thus your life. Think about it. Do you want to have a relationship based on talking about DNA? The childhood example applies because no child intellectualizes life. It was only years and years later that I decided I was smart, and so read and got filled with a lot of BS that life slipped past me. Most people's sexuality deteriorates. Some people's deteriorates more than others. But when one of these people see a Don Juan, they start intellectualizing what is really going on. So all these theories are born, which is just the intellectual's excuse to not face the truth about himself, that he was not so brilliant after all. Kill that desperation. Being a Don Juan is not a net sum of smooth maneuvers and methods, but of your own outlook on the world and on women. Anyone can memorize techniques, but few can change the way how they think. Women will be able to sniff out the former, but with the latter, women will be clawing each other for you. A Don Juan is a state of mind, not a list of methods and tricks. This must be stated because it brings us to the subject of desperation. In the end, we are all desperate with desire. We wouldn't be looking for tips and answers if we did not desire a girlfriend or multiple girlfriends. Being a bit ambitious, aren't we? We all want a woman, or women, but our desire and feelings brings out the desperation traits within us. Where I work, I ask the women why they found a coworker to be so desperate. Here are some of their answers. Always giving the women attention. Calling all the time, and calling immediately once getting the number, immediately returning a call, etc. Taking every opportunity to talk to them and telling everything about yourself, always available. Never willing to walk away, never willing to disagree, always supplicating, etc. What theme can we find in the above? It is that the man puts the woman on the pedestal rather than himself. Imagine if a woman did all of the above to you. Imagine if a woman was obsessed with you, always calling you, always available, and always spending her free time for you. Any interest you had for this woman would soon evaporate. Why? Because in your own mind, you are thinking two things. No one else must want her. And if I can get her obsessed about me, I know I can get better girls to be interested in me. Her desperation is turning you off. The same is true for women. Women are not attracted to desperate men. Period. I've told my coworker this and his response. Well, that is just who I am. Eventually, he will realize that the only common denominator in his pattern of crash and burns will be him. So if anyone has told you that you're desperate, consider that it's true. There is a key to removing desperation forever. There is no simple trick that will kill the desperation. It will not be in how you dress, how you talk, or where you go for dates. No, the key is in how you think. The key to killing desperation and attracting crowds of women is to think and believe that you are the great catch. Desperate guys do not do this. They see the woman as the prize rather than themselves. They see that the woman must be wooed rather than them. They will thus supplicate and become a nice guy. And nice guys finish last. If you start treating a woman like precious gold, she will believe she is gold. And once she believes it, she will dump you because you have given her the sense that she is better than you. Once she thinks that, she will want to replace you with someone better because you have given her reasons to believe that you are unworthy of her greatness. After all, if we think we can fuck someone better, we will. This holds true for both men and women. The last thing we want is to settle for a mate when we could have gotten better. This is why the element of challenge is so important in the dating game. The lesson: don't give her a reason to think she is better. You are the gold. She should be thrilled just to have a chance with you. The first step in becoming the Prince Charming every woman dreams of is to think of yourself as a prince. When you believe you are that prince, that you are the great catch, all the desperation signs you are emitting vanish, and an aura of attraction will surround you. Combine this manner of thinking with all the Don Juan skills you know, and you will become irresistible. Let us look at the desperation signs again. Always giving the women attention. Now that you're the prince, you don't have time to give women attention. A prince is kind, enthusiastic, smiling, yet you have things to do. A prince's time is precious. A woman must win your attention. You shall not give it to them. Calling all the time, and calling immediately once getting the number, immediately returning a call, etc. The great catch simply cannot call all the time because he has tons of other numbers. The great catch is not competing for a particular girl. The girls, rather, are competing for him. Taking every opportunity to talk to them, and telling everything about yourself. Why would Prince Charming tell everything about himself to a woman? No, the woman must justify herself to him because you are the goods. The prince would reveal things about himself only as a reward. The woman loves the mystery in this and sees knowing the prince as peeling layers of an onion, knowing him gradually. Always available. The great catch is busy with many, many women. She must fight for your time, not the other way around. Never willing to walk away, never willing to disagree, always supplicating. Prince Charming wouldn't accept any disrespect from any woman. If a woman gave him such disrespect, he walks away. The prince knows all these women want to be with him, so he can eject at any time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pook, I can't act like a Prince Charming or the Great Catch. I don't have tons of women after me. This is reversing cause and effect. Assume you are the Great Catch. Think that you are, and as you think you shall become. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Treat your hobbies as if they have more value than the women do, or treat your hobbies as if they were other women. When you think you are the great catch, you will act like it, and the women will know that you are. Women love certain traits in guys. By thinking you are. The great catch allows you to emit these traits naturally and without any effort. Good looks. You cannot change your genes, but you can change the way how you treat those genes. Does Prince Charming wear raggedy t-shirts? Does the great catch walk with his head down? No. You will wear nice clothes and walk with pride because you are proud of yourself. After all, you are one of the best. So treat yourself accordingly. Anyone can wear a suit, but few can wear a suit proudly. Few can wear a suit that seems to fit them naturally and creates an aura of importance. Good carriage, excellent threads are the consequence by how you think of yourself. Women know this and is the reason why you are judged by this criteria. Humor. Girls love humor. Prince Charming and the Great Catch are funny because they know that they, themselves, are fun. They don't worry, my goodness, she is really cute. How can I attract her? They assume she will be attracted and they have fun in the meantime. Don't be shy. Let your personality shine. When you think you are the great catch, this should come more naturally because you have nothing to fear. Dominance. You are the man. You must be in charge. Desperate guys will try to be nice in every which way to win the girl, and fail, of course. But Prince Charming and the Great Catch will sweep women off their feet. When you think you are the goods, you realize that it is ridiculous to treat a relationship and flirting as walking on eggshells. You set the rules, not the other way around. After all, you are the prize to be sought. Look at the soap operas and romance novels for grounds of this. Women like to be in the presence of a man, not a boy, not a chump, and certainly not a nice guy. Dominance is also being sure of yourself. Do not speak in a soft tone. Speak strongly and behave strongly. After all, do you think Prince Charming worries about making mistakes? No, so neither should you. I know. I can hear you saying, but I must worry about mistakes, or else I'll have another learning experience on my hands. This is a good thing. Let us say that in a normal conversation, you came across a word you did not know how to pronounce. Most people will utter the word softly for fear of criticism. This is stupid. Say the word loud. Let me repeat. Say the word loud. If you are wrong, you will be corrected. Clearing up mistakes is always a good thing and should never be feared. The same applies with dating. Do not date with hesitation and shyness. Date with all conviction. Remember, the biggest risk you can take in life is not to take any risks at all. Ambition. When you think yourself as the great catch, you know women are not the priority of your life. After all, the great catch knows he can get any woman whenever he wants. When you feel good about life, you cease to fear success and demand life show all that it has. Aim for the moon. If you miss, at least you'll be among the stars. So in the end, too often men think they need a girlfriend to have their life complete. The consequence is that these men will emit signs of desperation. Success is achieved first through the mind, then through the world, never the other way around. How can you be assertive and aggressive without appearing desperate? Be selective and picky, not on the prowl or hungry. Who knows? That next girl may be the one you marry. Might as well have high standards. Always be willing to walk away. Never accept low-interest responses. Shy guys and non-aggressive guys get nowhere with women. I am extremely shy and very non-aggressive. You can use it to your advantage. For non-aggressiveness. For some reason, I tend to attract flocks of chicks. They hit on me, touch me, try to get me to ask them out, and I don't. Other guys my age I talked to a few have had the same thing. We found out the reason why. It was summed up by what one girl told me. You're not like most guys. You're different, intelligent, and sexier than a Greek god. Okay, maybe she didn't say that, but she did say that I was different and not like most guys. Why? Because I wasn't hitting on every chick. I wasn't out hustling the girls. Guys who want a girlfriend hit on girls all the time. Here are some facts. Fact A. Guys who hit on girls appear desperate and needy. Fact B. Girls want guys who don't need girls. Here is a metaphor. Be as free as a bird. Girls want to seize that bird and toss it in a cage. That cage is called commitment. Therefore, guys shouldn't hit on girls. Guys hit on girls because they are needy. Change your thinking and you cease to be needy, and you'll naturally stop hitting on girls. I think it is best to treat a chick, no matter how hot and steamy she is, no matter how cute and perfect as a guy. The only exception is don't talk technical stuff with them like you would with a guy. Computers, cars, how to lay chicks, etc. They will love this. With the girls I like, I talk about them, and they become more and more attracted to me because guys do not do this. That is how I used my non-aggressiveness to my advantage. It can be excellent for creating attraction in some situations. Problem is that you have to turn it off eventually and go for her. And you know that she will say, "Yes, oh, this is the luckiest day of my life." Because you think you are Prince Charming, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Using shyness as an advantage. Shy people think too much. Shy people react to situations when they should be acting, initiating. But when you're on a date or any time talking to a woman you like, you can use your shyness as an advantage. Shy people do not go around talking about themselves or try to sell themselves because they hate talking in general. Girls hate this anyway. See? Much goodness already. When she asks you about yourself, give her a general answer and turn the conversation back on her. Shy people's advantage is, they let women flap their gums. The Art of Conversation is a great article at sosuave.com. She flaps her gums, you take something she said that you agree with, paraphrase it in your own words, and feed it back to her. She will levitate before your very own eyes. See? Shyness and non-aggression can be great virtues rather than the vices they seem to be. I get my women from the workplace. It makes work seem like recreation. However, in a workplace setting, you have to be careful as a reputation sticks. Go out with every girl, and you are labeled a player, which women hate. Hit on every girl there, you will instantly be stamped Mr. Desperate, and all the girls will laugh at you. I've seen it happen to poor chumps. Act reserved by demonstrating your fun personality, and you will know when they will be dying for you to ask them out. Sometimes they'll even bring themselves to ask you out, which you say no. They become even more intrigued for guys that turn down girls. Clubs and parties are not the place, I think, for shy, non-aggressive people. I get better results when I can talk to people without shouting all the time. You can get away with hitting on women if you won't see them again. In the workplace or classroom, they will remember and reputations stick. Just because you get a date does not mean you stop being attractive. You must make your attractiveness consistent by continually thinking yourself as the great catch, or as Prince Charming. For if you don't, then you start to put her on a pedestal and have that fatal romance disease known as desperation. Right now, I'm in a situation where I'm on the verge of dating 2 women. Even though I've read the articles on this site a billion times and read this forum daily, I can feel myself wanting to fall in infatuation. It is all in our minds of how we look at the women. Good Pook. I wonder what fun I can have with her. I wonder what new things I'll learn about women from her. I wonder what happens if I try this strategy on her. Bad Pook. Wowza! She is hot! I hope I look and act all right. I really, really hope I don't do anything stupid or dumb tonight. Notice the difference. When Pook is bad, he places the success of the night on if he doesn't screw up, which he will because he is worried to death about it. When Pook is good, he places the success factor on the experimentation and fun, which as a result, the Pook will come across as fun and different. Be the good Pook. Embrace your sexuality. To the nice guys, AFCs, chumps, and assorted miscellaneous confused males. Sirs, let us have a little talk on the spirit of sexuality. This might trouble you, to be sure. It might anger others, which is most certain, but the stubborn fact remains that you cannot be successful with women ever until you embrace your sexuality. Yet until now, you were not interested in sexuality. Rather, you wanted to hear more philosophies, more tricks and tactics to be placed in your quiver of dating. It is as if you were to say, yes, these guys that are getting girls are all very well and good, But what philosophies should we deploy to get the women? We purchase bits and pieces of philosophies on this site like we are in a dating Walmart. We, however, enjoy being the dorks we are and wish only for more philosophies to add to our arsenal. How blind you guys are. Now, I wish to ask you a question. Go ahead, Pook. Do you see that female over there? No, not the thin one. No, not the one with the long hair and curvaceous body. I am talking about the large one in front of the ho-hos. Yes, her hair is an absolute mess. She has no sense of style. She keeps many pets and spends extraordinary amounts of money on them. Personality? She is bitter. She enjoys philosophy just as you do. Why, she is going to become a feminist. Is she a woman? Pook! Of course not. She is female, that can be proven. But do not call such a thing a woman. If she is not a woman, what is she? Hag, walrus, witch, Titanic. Ah, she is an androgynous. Androgynous females do not look like girls or act like them. 3 professors of mine, who I have talked to about their past and their regrets, told me they were clueless with women even though they knew everything about the Elizabethan period, the history of the Supreme Court, and the philosophical ruminations in the 19th century. Despite that, they married the woman I described above, despite how brilliant they were. Other guys block their sexuality by being nice. Sexuality is disrespectful and makes me look like a pig. In the end, these nice guys end up being thought up as an ass by women and treated as one. If you want to avoid this type of fate, read on. Embrace your sexuality. This guy has no problems talking to women except those he desires. The desire sabotages him and wrecks him completely. Listen, we can hear him.
I feel so guilty. This is like, I don't respect them. This is painful. I feel like I am using them. I feel dirty doing this.
Oh, poor guy. His problem is not the women but himself. Why is he feeling guilty? Why does he think he is being sinister? Look, we are going to see him 10 years from now. Behold. The guy is 10 years older, but still has no girl. He has a decent job, a decent life, but it seems meaningless without a girl. He becomes bitter. He is angry at life. If only he could fix whatever problem 10 years earlier, how much joy and bliss would be in his life. This guy's life has been like the hard desert with painful arrows constantly peppering him from the blazing sun. He wanders aimless, seeing an oasis in that beautiful woman who only sees him as a friend. The beautiful women, the ones he wants, are like mirages. He thought they would finally end his painful wandering and lead him into that promised land of bliss. Oh, if he could only find one. All the pains would end. The key is not in finding this oasis, this woman, to end all your pains. The key is to realizing that the problem is not the women, not the situation, but himself, and only himself. Now he stands in the desert, but lo and behold, a heavenly rain has cascaded from the sky. The dryness of loneliness, the ever-constant thirst for affection, is quenched with the blissful rain. What was the one thing that caused the rain that quenched his thirst and cooled the heat? It was to embrace his sexuality. If you cannot embrace your sexuality, you can never be a Don Juan, and you can never be happy in life. Are you a guy? Take a look in the mirror. Chances are, if you are at this website wondering the hows and whys, then you are not a guy. But I forget myself. Let me introduce my prop. Thus enters Nerd Boy. Why, hello, Nerd Boy. Look at you. Pocket protector and all. You have glasses and look like a drone. Your clothes don't match. Heck, your clothes don't even have any personality. You are so mental that you cannot grasp the ways of the flesh. Just as you thought the fat chick was not a woman, women will not think this nerd boy is a guy. Why? He isn't fully human. It's obvious he hasn't had any contact with womaniverse, which is sexuality itself. He will make excuses.
I am very handsome.
Which is true. A handsome drone is he.
I am a genius. I have a great job.
Oh, poor nerd boy. Women do not possess the faculties to see beauty as men do. Women do not care for your intellect. That is masculine chatter. The guy that woman is with may be ugly, may even be stupid, but he is absolutely sexual. Nerd boy is blind to sexuality and therefore blind to life. Sexuality problem. Number 1. Looks. Are you ugly? Are you beautiful? It doesn't matter. Women do not see beauty, they see only sexuality. So how does a sexual male look? To put it bluntly, it is the badass. This guy has the look of power, be it a shaved head, leather coat, professional corporate suit, backwards cap, a well-toned body, spiky hair, or whatever else. This person looks like a guy. He is not androgynous. He knows what his sexuality is and embraces it. How is a guy supposed to look? To be male is to drive against nature, to pierce her. He is not a pretty boy, though this might get some girls too. It is almost a rough look. A guy has a look of some masculinity about him. How to look like Brad Pitt? No, I didn't mistype that. One girl I knew saw Brad Pitt on TV and orgasmed. He looks so good. But Brad Pitt's effect has nothing to do about looks. Brad Pitt is a very symmetrical union of the two sexualities, male and female. He looks innocent, but also as a badass. Sweet but rough, smooth yet rugged, elegant but strong.
Pook, this is a contradiction.
No, it is not. It is well known that women like guys who have some feminine aspects, that is, pretty boys. To get the Brad Pitt effect, you need to figure out where you are on the sexuality scale, though many males like Nerd Boy aren't on the scale at all. If you're a feminine male, you are probably thin, innocent, modest, shy, pretty boyish, curls for hair, large eyes, and have an almost aristocratic style about you. The masculine male is muscular, large, loud, has a motorcycle, has a goatee or shadow, and has a sporty or outdoorsman style to him. Now that you know where you are at, simply add in elements of the other. Some guys, when they go on to manhood, carry a piece of adolescence with them. These are the guys that end up with the Brad Pitt effect, though you can make it your own. Compare this to Nerd Boy. He looks at them and thinks how much smarter he is. But is he smarter? No. They may not know their calculus, but they know their sexuality. When women flock to these guys, the Nerd Boy only stands there in awe. Sexuality problem. Number 2. Personality. Come here and talk to the lovely lady, Nerd Boy.
Hello, how are you?
Creepy.
I will do anything for you, lovely lady.
I'm sure you will, Nerd Boy. But when a guy has embraced his sexuality, he treats the women like they are children.
But Pook, that is not politically correct.
Fool. This is sexuality which is above and beyond your petty philosophies and politics. Now where were we? Oh yes, he does not take women seriously. And why should he? He is a man after all. He has a sense of self. He is independent. He doesn't need anyone to define himself. But embracing one's sexuality means enjoying it. You do not look at the woman as work or as a riddle to be solved. No, you go in and have fun. You do not dwell on boring subjects like Nerd Boy here does. So what we end up with is a type of cocky and funny guy. D'Angelo covers this subject quite a bit. But you will never be cocky and funny by intentionally trying to be cocky and funny. You are not a chick putting up a facade. No, be a guy and so act like a guy. Here, gentlemen, is a ballerina. She has just told you of all the things she does, how she dances, and everything like that. What is your response? Nerd Boy.
Wow, that is really interesting. Tell me more about the fabrics and spiffy colors of the pageant, the dance moves, etc.
Guy.
You must have really strong legs.
It is as simple as that. Some guys cannot control themselves and start being blatantly sexual to the poor women. This is not being rude or blatant. It is to realize that sexuality is not contained in the bed and is part of every interaction you have with the woman. Look, she is touching you. This is good. Touch is sexual in itself. Kino is sign of interest. If you kino a girl too soon, it can backfire on you. You no longer remain a mystery to her. The game is up. She knows you want her. But if she thinks you are not interested in her, and you want to say you are, you kino her. Kino is a form of womanese for, I am interested in you. When you kino the chick understands perfectly what you are saying. Kino is communication. Using it to create interest, which may not be there, rather than as communication will backfire. However, failure to receive or initiate kino makes one sexually a mannequin. Know why? Because mannequins do not initiate kino. Bad. Hi, I'm Flirty Boy. Touch, touch. You look so cute in that outfit. My goodness, you must get compliments all the time. And Flirty Boy continues to flirt. Right. Hi, I'm Mr. Right. Some small talk. What's your number? A guy does not flirt with chicks, unless he is working, thus captive, and has nothing else better to occupy his mind. A guy asks out the chick to show he's interested. Sexuality problem. Number 3. Dating. What to do? What to do? Poor nerd boy. He cannot invite the chick over to view his computer together. So he thinks, what do males do to court the lady? Dinner, of course. Nerd boy and his chick eat their meal. But nerd boy, I am sorry to interrupt. How are you different from any other male? Look, there goes your woman, never to talk to you again. She said you were boring. Alas.
But I gave her dinner. She ought to like me.
But any guy can give her dinner. Can you give her dinner, trash heap guy?
Yes, Pook, I can buy her dinner.
And what says you, Mr. Nice Guy?
I can buy her dinner also.
And Mr. So Suave? What about you?
I also can buy her dinner.
There is no difference. Any male can buy her dinner. Heck, any female could buy her dinner.
So what do you suggest, Pook?
Action dates. Do not sit there talking. She can do that with her girlfriends. Guys, on the other hand, are all about action. Real men are not making dinner. They are swimming rivers and climbing mountains. Find something action-wise and get her involved.
But Pook, I enjoy sitting in front of my computer all day and don't like action dates.
Learn to like them. Look, are you even living? There are brilliant things out there to enjoy and do. What are you wasting your youth on? Sitting in front of the computer. Sexuality problem number 4. Love shyness. Grab your white coats, gentlemen, and follow me. Pook and the others go down the hall and turn to the left. Ah, now we are at the testing room. Behind the window is where we will experiment. They will not see us, gentlemen, for they will see only a mirror. Here, we can peek in on the outside world.
But Dr. Pook, what is the experiment going to be?
Patience, indeed. Let us begin. A man was in the room, and all was well. Then, all of a sudden, a gorgeous woman enters the room. The man snuck glances. Soon, the woman got tired of this game, and she came over to speak to him. Focus, gentlemen. Watch how he responds. Again. Duh. Stop. Remove the woman. Quarantine the male. We cannot risk the possibility that his error is contagious.
Yes, Dr. Pook.
Right away, Dr. Pook.
Anything you say, Dr. Pook.
Ah. It is so nice when they do what you ask. Now, display the data on our subject. The screen flashed up the male's brain map. Good heavens! I was afraid of this. His entire frontal lobe is severely damaged. Gentlemen, to show you the extent of the damage this male labels as shyness, let us look at it through the woman's perspective. Yes. Okay, she walks into the room. She knows the guy is checking her out. Guys, the girls are more clever than you think. They will spot you if you check them out. If you like a chick, she will eventually know it. So the chick decides to talk to the guy, and the guy didn't seem capable of conversation. Why, he just mumbled and bumbled about something. What did he say? It doesn't matter. Look at how he said it. He wasn't speaking. He was farting from his mouth. Now, what was the woman thinking? A gentleman peered at the data and looked up, stunned.
She thought he was brain damaged.
Exactly. And you know what? He was. She is right here, and he is wrong. He knew something was wrong, but he can't figure it out. The problem is Descartes. Yes, old Descartes thought that he could divide the mind and body with his philosophies. Descartes thought that human beings were composed of physical bodies and immaterial minds. That blasted Dutchman Spinoza disagreed. Why, to Spinoza, feeling was not opposed to reason. Rather, feeling was an accomplice. With Spinoza, mind and body are not two, but one. Some believe in a third way, which is Freud. Freud believed that this young male's reaction was because of repression. I'm sure you've heard it before. That guy is going to turn into a playboy because he was sexually repressed. But this is nonsense. We are humans, not caged animals. It is impossible to turn off all emotions in rational decision-making. A girl can be hot, but what does that matter unless you mentally acknowledge it? Ever have a particular girl you kept thinking about? Lust is not just fleshy. Lust is both mental and fleshy. The point is that Spinoza was right, and Descartes was wrong.
Pook, is there a purpose to this?
There is, and it is in that young male. When the beautiful woman came into his orbit, he tried to compartmentalize. A wave of emotion came over him. He fought against it rather than accepting it. And so, the result is a guy that just stands there like a mark with a whole army shooting at him. Logic is to this universe as feeling conversation is to womaniverse. The woman thought, typical male, and went off to find a worthier recipient. Do you want to get rid of your shyness? You're going to have to open up and get out of your solitary shell. Sure, you can deploy tactics and maneuvers and turn women into a piece of mathematical equation. But in the end, you are still in your same shy, philosophy-obsessed world. You just destroyed her and turned her into a part of a philosophy to absorb. Instead of dehumanizing the woman, why not humanize yourself? Sexuality problem. Number 5. Lack of experience. No experience, no job. No job, no experience. It is like that with women too. Oh, foolish lad. She doesn't care if you're still running on Virgin or not. The only problem is that if you have a problem with it. Some guys worry about their experience, worry about stupid labels.
I am still a virgin, though.
So what? Despite what the movies portray, sex is not life. If you have a problem with it, it is guaranteed that she will. Stop worrying. Sexuality is not a philosophy to learn. It is more like a dance. Some males get it, others don't. Do not demand philosophies of sexuality. You'll only end up destroying it. And if you ask for a theory to create another philosophy, to be stacked in a bookish format to further continue your ego as a great thinker, consider yourself chained to this website forever. Embrace your sexuality and embrace life. The entire series is available on YouTube for free. But if you'd like to own a copy and support my work, you can purchase the 10-hour audio and PDF on Gumroad. The link is in the description.